Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of God Concept. This is Mr. Pagan. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. First off and foremost, I like to thank my creator, our creator, for giving me the mental fortitude and the wherewithal just to make it through this journey that I'm still going through, that all of us are going through. I put a lot on this podcast, and just because I needed somewhere to vent, I apologize about a lot. And at the same time, it's like I've been put through a lot of shit. I mean, a lot of shit. I know I got people that been through probably worse than me and had worse outcomes than me, and that too. I'm sympathetic for that. But at a point in time, you gotta be your own hero. You gotta stand up and say enough is enough. And you gotta break that curse. You gotta break those bonds that hold you, your loved ones back, your family, the ones that came before you, and the ones that stand after you, the ones that you create, the ones that the people that stand next to you. You know what I mean? I don't want to say family. I just want to say those who stand next to you. Like-minded people who have children, so they can break those bonds as well. This is why we do this. This is why we truth seek. And this is why when we seek truth and we find truth, we present that truth, and all I could do is present my truth. And whatever way, shape, form, or fashion that comes in, that's up to me to, give it to you, and it's up to you to figure it out or unwrap it. I'm trying to figure it out myself, or try to decipher it all. Just try to understand it, because from my point of view, it's been a hell of a journey trying to understand it, allowing myself to go down a rabbit hole that I was thrown down anyway. See, it's like a car accident, right? It's one thing, it's like, okay, you don't want to be in a car accident, but you're in a car, you're driving. So of course there will be a car accident. So when there's a car accident, how will you react to that car accident? Will you become erratic, become, tense up and start moving around, or what will you do? Will you let your fears take over and not allow your brain to calculate the things that you have to do for this to minimize the damage of the impact that's about to happen? Right? These are the things that these quick split-second decisions, are sometimes misinterpreted by others because they don't understand that your survival instincts kick in. When your survival instincts kick in, you're just thinking about survival. Certain people think about the survival of themselves. Others think about the survival of the ones around them, the ones closest to them, the ones they care about the most. I'm a simplicity type of person. I love simplicity. So when I think about survival, I always think as a team. I'm team oriented. I'm group oriented. So my team, my group is my children. My wife. A strange wife, but we're together. She's a blessing. Her family's a blessing. My family is a blessing in ways, I guess. My family is a blessing, but I haven't been in communication with my family a lot because of the circumstances and situations that I'm going through currently. But that's neither here nor there because I got, like I said, my children. You know what I mean? My mother's been a blessing, so what can I do? You know, um, I always show respect when respect is due, even for a kind word or two. You deserve some respect for that. But lately, just a lot been going on, so I've been having to excuse my country language. I know I write books and all that craziness, but I'm still a regular person at the end of the day. So I've been having to withdraw from a lot of things. Like I don't mind being without to figure out the things that I have to figure out. That's imperative to figure out. I've been thrown in many situations in my life, but I must say none as trying as the one that I've been thrown into for the last, couple of years, few years, few is 3, a couple is 2, but a few is 3. And it seemed like it's closer to a few years, about 3, 4 years. I've been going through a lot of things, and a lot of changes occurred in my life and sent me down different paths, and allowed me to elevate and grow in the way that I think. You know, and you gotta excuse me for me being me at any time you encounter me. You might encounter a happy-go-lucky me. You might encounter a more in their mind, more, just in my own space, in my own world me. Sometimes you might encounter a more serious me, but either way is all different shapes and forms of me. I got different types of art that I create. I love music. I love, books and things like that. I love giving others things to think about. I love leaving a mark on this world. I love leaving my mark. I love leaving a legacy behind. So yeah, I have different modes that I go into. Whether I'm in author mode, if I'm in music mode, whether if I'm in artistic mode, period. It's like you never know what I'm trying to create. And based upon what I'm trying to create, that's the emotion and that's the character and that's the personality, that's the persona that I'm embodying. Actors understand this. Any actor would tell you that they got to get in character for any type of role that they're about to take on. You got to get into character. So to be an artist, you always have to be in character. If you're trying to sing a certain song, you have to be in that song's character. If you're trying to play a certain role in a movie, you have to be in that character's personality. You have to be that persona. You have to embody who they want you to be on screen. So when I'm thrown into any atmosphere, I try to become who I have to be, right? Not that I'm an actor, because I'm not an actor. I'm just being natural. But I'm trying to get a feel or gain a feel of where I'm at, and at the same time still be me. And that's a hard thing to do. That's a hard thing to traverse. Especially when you got different personalities clashing. This guy wants to be the alpha. This guy wants everybody to be the beta under them. And they don't understand that alpha and beta don't exist to me. Alpha and beta don't exist to me. I'm a nomad. I mean, I understand alpha and beta and things like that. And I understand the sigmas too. Sigmas, a friend of mine told me what sigmas are. But there's different categories of people. You got alphas, you got betas, you got sigmas, which are basically just to themselves. They run their own thing. They got their own shit going. They don't classify as an alpha or a beta, but their characteristics are more alpha-like, but they don't run in a pack, so you really can't call them an alpha or beta because they have no leaders to lead or no followers to follow them. They just leading on their own thing. Now, a sigma will have children, like a pack of kids or whatever, a pack of children. But, and they get to decipher. They'll observe. That's what sigmas are. They're more observant of packs of alphas and betas. There you go. I'm nomadic. I'm nomadic where I don't want a sigma over top of me watching me. I don't mind a sigma watching, because I'm a nomad. I could get along with a sigma. I'm not an alpha or a beta, but I'm just a nomadic person. I could go anywhere and traverse any type of lifestyle I have to. That's what nomadic is. I just go around, I help. I'm not a bad nomadic. I'm a good, helpful, empath nomadic. You know what I mean? It's just who I am. I wear my heart on my sleeves. Over these years, all the art that I've been trying to create for the past 3-4 years, few years, it's all been affected by what I've been going through. As far as the books, the first book that I made, One Leap of Faith. The second book that I made, Morals and Values. The third book that I made, Nature's Features, I started to stabilize a little bit because I knew I had a project. I had a goal in mind. I had a task at hand. I had something that I wanted to achieve and something that I wanted to do. And I had more of a laid out structured plan of what I wanted to do. And that's why Nature's Features, that book came out rather well. Not to mention I did a whole lot of information compiling and everything like that. So it was just a lot more structure, a lot less rushed. It was a bit rushed, but it was just because it was done to, Nature's Features was done as a project for me and to, to bring about a certain pride or a certain achievement, to achieve a certain goal that I set in place to make someone proud. You know what I mean? It was more a pride thing with me. I did that for my grandmother, my children, my mother as well. For anybody who anybody who wanted to look at me, I did it for me. Because if you look at me and you look at my body at work, I looked at the books that I put out before Nature's Features, One Leap of Faith and Morals and Values. And though I'm proud of those works, they aren't my best works. They weren't my best works. And that's because I've been going through a lot. They were just books that I was putting together. They were my first publications. So it's like, okay, I kind of got to redeem myself for this. Don't get me wrong. I go back and I'm going to make new additions and I make revisions on those publications. But that's why they was rushed because, lack of know-how, I guess, and, due to what I was going through. Not lack of know-how, but needing to gain more understanding and becoming an author. You know how they say, your boots are too big for your britches or something like that, or whatever those britches are, you too big for your britches. There it is, right? I'm stepping in new clothes. It's like going in a wardrobe and, you looking through everything and you got to find the clothes that fit. You know what you want to wear. You know what style you want to have on, but you got to find that style in your size. So I'm putting these authors' clothes on and I'm still trying to fit. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to fit in the shirt, the pants, the tie, the shoes, the socks. I'm still trying to fit in the attire of an author or what an author would be. You know what I mean? So that's what Nature's Features was for me. That was me actually fitting, me starting to fit well. The shirt might be a little bit too loose and the pants might be a little bit too tight, but it fits a lot better, knowing that I got a publication that my grandmother and my children could be proud of out there. With the music as well, really, I look into, my namesake, and I see that I have a lot of authors with my namesake. I have a lot of musicians with my namesake. So it behooves me to show my kids what's naturally, the natural talents that they have, what their namesake is talented at doing, and it behooves me to do the same thing. Something that my grandmother has been trying to push me towards doing my entire life. So why not go about and do that? Why not do something that I feel as if I was supposed to do or I was meant to do for a long time, but I wasn't doing it for whatever reason? And, life situations. Oh, who gives a fuck? But anyway, with the music, it was the same thing. I loved music forever, all types of genres and everything. And my kids actually got me more into music because I started getting them into Kids Bop and things like that. And then I started going on different music apps and creating music. And I always had Fruity Loops and trying to create music different times and different time periods in my life. I was creating music. I was DJ Quad M for a while when I was younger. And it's like, music has always been there. I've been DJing. I've been, writing rhymes and freestyling and singing and different things like that, but never really taking it seriously until I actually started playing around with these apps and things like that. The Rap Chat, all different types of apps that they got out there to create music on. Rap Chat is what I primarily create music on at times, and through different recording, applications and things at times. Now, where was I at? Yeah, I started making music and my kids was liking it and I was liking it. It was fun doing it and they were liking it. I made a few good songs and then after that I started making more and more. And then was like, hey, I could take this somewhere. This is before they had all the distro kids and all that shit attached to the Rap Chat and all that. So what I started doing was I started taking my music and I started actually putting it on, United Masters. I started a United Masters account and I started taking my music there and actually pushing my music out, out further than what I could push it out, to the world on Rap Chat. I couldn't push it out to the world on Rap Chat like I could on United Masters. So I signed up with United Masters. I started trying to take it more seriously and everything, taking the music thing more seriously because my kids was enjoying it. I was enjoying it. Plus, I want them to always be able to do something they enjoy and, have fun doing it and make money doing it, make a living doing something that they love doing, something that, they won't feel like a slave doing for the rest of their life. But I digress. Not digress because I'm going to continue. But even throughout the music process, it's like every time I'm trying to make advances and make better music and better quality music, I always got held back, by circumstances, situations, even the things that I've been dealing with for a couple years. And if you've been following me, if you know me, if you hear this podcast, you know what I've been dealing with, for a few years. I really don't care to talk about it in person with anybody because it's a touchy subject. And really, nobody gives a fuck anyway. I mean, people do give a fuck, but it's not like, they care to have a conversation with you about it. They just give a fuck to just talk about you behind your back about it. That's generally what happens, when people is going through things in this city. They'll talk about you behind your back while you're going through the situation and then just sit back from afar and watch how the chips fall. And that's not right. Especially when you got a lot of people who can really sit up there and put things in perspective. You know what I mean? I'm not really trying to get in contact with anybody about this matter or anything, but the appropriate people that I'm supposed to be getting in contact with. And to be honest with you, to be frank with you, I don't care to because I don't really trust anybody for what I've been through or any of that. I don't care to really touch on these subjects with anybody at all because I don't trust the company that I may be speaking to. I don't trust the company that I may be speaking to, because at this point, I figure it like this. If people that wipe my ass and, chewed up food and put it in my mouth, can do people wrong like that, there's no way in hell that I could trust anybody else besides my children. Some people I can trust. Like trust is something that, you can extend it, but you got to understand who you extend trust to and why you extend trust. The most important thing about trust is you got to be a trustworthy person. In order to extend trust at all, you have to be a trustworthy person. Period. You know what I mean? I just came up with that because it's a two-way street. Trust is a two-way street. So that changed my perspective on something right now, because if trust is a two-way street, then that means you must be a trustworthy person in order to be, eligible to receive trust, to gain anybody's trust. But at the same time, if those people who are in positions, right, who gives you trust, if they are aligned with people who are untrustworthy or are snakes, then you trying to gain trust from somebody that is trustworthy, but they're aligned with snakes or untrustworthy people. The untrustworthy people will make sure that they don't get another person like the trustworthy person in their circle. Sometimes, so they'll try to keep pushing you off. They'll keep trying to make the head not trust you, because they don't want a person like you, because you would make the trustworthy person or the person the head see that these two people or these people that they surround themselves with really are snakes. But I digress again. But with the music thing, it's like you go through all these situations and people don't realize that, you go through these things, and when you're trying to create, it hinders what you're trying to create. It been times where I had to pause a song for days, weeks, months, and come back to it, and the song it don't sound as good as it would have if I would have completed my recording right then and there. If I would have been able to complete a full song in a session, you know what I mean? If I would have not been interrupted in certain ways, if I would have been, in a certain environment, or at times I would be in the environment to create a song, but nobody would participate. Or I would be in the environment, but somebody else is doing something adjacent to what I'm trying to do, not allowing me to create in the space that I need to create in. It's like hating on my project or whatever. You know what I mean? Like trying to put an umbrella over top of my shine. You know what I mean? Not trying to let the sun shine on me or whatever. Like, damn, let my creative juices flow. That's all I've been trying to do, is let this creativity flow. Because if I could allow my creativity flow, I could allow my children's creativity to flow. Because believe it or not, our parents are the ones that could turn on that faucet of creativity. You already have it turned on with your imagination. It's trickles. Now you got to use that imagination to actually create things. But it's our parents that can actually install that in us. And I'm trying to instill that in my children so they could go out and create and understand that they could be anything that they want to be as well. They don't have to be put in a box. You don't have to be put in that municipal worker box. You don't have to be put in that school worker box. You don't have to be put in that fireman box. You don't have to be put in that police officer box. You could be an artist and become whatever you want to be. Artists are actors. Artists are entertainers. Artists are comedians, singers, dancers, so on and so forth. All of these is arts. All of these are crafts. Even the jobs that you go get put in a box to do are arts and crafts. The only thing is you're accepting a salary. You're accepting a salary instead of putting your own price on what you create and bring into this world, your gift to people to entertain them. Because while all these things are going on in his life, while people are working hard every day, when they want to relax, what they do, they turn on TV, they watch a movie, they listen to a song, they listen to arts, right? They're all entertained by social media. And what's on social media? Arts. And that's when I'm shifting gears, and that's what I've been shifting gears into doing. But it's something that's stifling to have situations come about that family members, I don't know, family members cohort and scheme and plot against you, not even against you, but on whatever's there to gain. See, that's the thing. I'm able to really look past the situation and keep going because I don't take it personally, even though I do take it very personally because my grandmother's involved, my mother's involved, I'm involved, my children's involved. That is very personal to me. But when you take yourself out of the picture and you look at the big picture and you say, what is this all really about? It's all really about monetary value. I mean, it's some type of spiritual connection there too. It's some type of personal connection there too. It's emotional, it's mental, it's all of these things. But really it's all done for what? For a financial gain, a power gain, a financial gain, a monetary gain, a property gain for what? Is this about inheritance? Is this about some type of deeds or wills or stocks or bonds? Or what is this about? It's always about some type of value. It's always of value. It's something of value. It's always an exchange. It's always an exchange going on, right? That's what we don't put our mind on or set the goal on. It's like we get too enthused by the petty things in life and you don't realize that life is an exchange. So what I've been going through has been an exchange of what? Of power, of deeds, of wills, of insurance, of documents, right? All of this has been going on for a while before my grandmother's death. Then after my grandmother's death, it all ramps up on my end. That's because there was an exchange. There was something done and there had to be a distraction. I had to be distracted. Somebody had to be distracted. A lot of people had to be distracted so things can be done. Okay? That's all I can really say. I try to articulate it the best I can, but it's really hard to articulate all these things that have been done when I don't even know what's been going on right before my very eyes because I'm kept in the dark. All of these things are planned and strategized in secret meetings, in secret, by organizations, by different groups, by different sets of people. I don't know. You have to talk to these people, the people who make these plans, who scheme these schemes, who cohort, and do all this shit. And, I don't know. It's a whole lot of bullshit going on, but I'm just figuring it out. So you have to, really just put your goggles up, put your binoculars up, and really just pay attention to everything that's going on because a lot of times these things are going on in your life, and, people make plans for you, your children, right around you in your very, in your very midst, whether they're above you or below you or around you at any point in time, you could have somebody manipulating you. A lot of people manipulating you. And that's why I'd rather just eject myself from a situation before I become any more manipulated than I already am. And it's manipulation on all types of levels. Financial manipulation, emotional manipulation, personal, psychological, spiritual, physical manipulation. I choose not to be involved with any of it. I mean, it's hard not to be involved with any of it because we need things. We are creatures of habits. We are creatures of needs. We are creatures of wants, right? Of desires, right? And they use all of those things against you. Your wants, your needs, your desires. These are the things that's used against us to manipulate us in these different ways. I just want to apologize to anybody who I may have made feel that, I'm against them in any type of way, because I'm not against anybody. I'm just more for me than I could be for anybody else. I'm more for me than I could be for anybody else. And if a person don't understand that, then they really don't understand me. I'm the type, I like to rectify situations. If I could turn the other cheek once or twice, I will. But once it gets too hectic or out of hand, it's either time to get the fuck out of there or pull the still. You know what I mean? And I'd rather get the fuck out of there because, the only time I'm trying to pull the still is when it comes to my children and protecting and defending their lives. You know what I mean? And protecting and defending my life so I can get back to the ones I care about and love at the end of the day. So, yeah, but this has been an episode of God Concept. I just had to get these things off my mind, expound on these things, let y'all know I do got more books and everything coming out. I've been talking a long time about Moonlit Marshes. That book, Marshall Cuts. I got to work on that book. I'm still working on that book. Like I said, going through all this stuff with the music, with the books, with all the artistic stuff that I'm trying to create, it's like it all been getting fucked up by trying to figure out all these situations that, circumstances that are beyond me. Like, I don't even understand. They are beyond me. So what I'm doing is I'm just, I'm slowly but surely writing these books and compiling these facts and information. I got a book about to come out. It's a book of love. What do we know about love? It's basically poems and facts and different things that we know about love. My hypothesis and my take on love from a spiritual aspect, from a physical aspect, and all the different emotions that come about with that, all the feelings that come about with that, all the different types of love, and the things that those types of love spawn. Because once you have all these different types of love, you could combine these different types of love and come up with new forms of love, new different retrospects and aspects of love, that's been discovered, that's been dove into before, but not, not by me. I ain't never put it in the book. So I'm going to put it in the book and, get that out there to y'all since it's around Valentine's Day. This has been my Valentine's Day episode, after Valentine's Day episode. So, yeah, I'm gonna do a book of love, and I'm gonna do some more R&B, some more love music, and I'm gonna keep it going. Point blank period. That's what it's about, man. I appreciate anybody who out there supporting me. Thanks for listening to all the podcasts and everything. Man, it's all about that. It's all about that love exchange. It's all about, staying connected and staying unified and staying justified in what you do and the things you do, staying justified. Thank you for tuning in. This has been another episode of God Concept. I've been your host, Mr. Pagan. Y'all have a good one. Peace.